Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Kim Insight doing another segment of My Money. So today's segment of My Money is what I just want to talk about is. So, as we all know, this is a mental health channel, but I also like to talk about sports. And so, unfortunately, with this event, it goes hand in hand with both sports and mental health. Roughly about a little bit over a week ago, prior to me shooting my last My Monday videos, um, a football player that go by the name of Kyren Lacy, unfortunately took his own life. I don't want to say the other word that's due to, YouTube guidelines. And so first I just want to go over just go over the situation itself, and then just go on my thoughts and my prayers out to his family and everything. I don't know if they're gonna see this video or not, but if they do, prayers out to his family. But so like I said, according to sources, Kyren Lacy on the date of April 12th took his own life. Pretty much what occurred was he got into it with a female relative in Harris County, Texas, which is not too far away, or I think it's in Houston, Texas, and he got on a high speed chase, and he ended up, like I said, taking his own life. I don't know how he did it. I don't want to talk about it, but so that's what pretty much occurred. Um, Around this time period, he was going through a whole lot of things, y'all. He was at an all time high, y'all. He was killing it at. I mean, let me use that word. He was doing a great job at LSU. He was a star receiver at LSU, and then I guess like around the time period for bowl season, he was just driving his car sporadically at high speed, and then I believe the man, he was in the Marines. He ended up losing his own life due to Kyren Lacy, you know, driving at a high rate of speed. And RIP to that man as well. That's unfortunate news, y'all. So so before he took his own life, he was before Kyren took his own life, he had the court date for that incident that occurred with the other male, I mean the 78-year-old male. And like I said, it was 2 days before the case. And so new reports just came out where his agent said the NFL just as guilty because or they had negligence just because they didn't look into the case and look into what was going to occur with the case. And they didn't allow Kyren to participate in the NFL combine. It they thought, I guess they thought he was guilty or something like that. But if you look at what the agent said, was they said pretty much like chances are either this case is going to get dropped or it's going to get reduced, just because I guess because they're just going to take it to civil case or something like that. But pretty much that's what that was the information that was coming out about the case. And so like this is me on my thoughts about Kyren and just everything what I've been hearing and everything and like that. So first of all, like I've seen videos where someone said this. I don't know, I can't tell you the exact video where I seen it at, but it takes a lot out of an individual to take their own life. It's just not something someone just thinks about. This is something like it's really been going on with their life, and there's been something going on with them internally for them to think that way and for them to actually act upon it. Because I'm not the smartest person in the world, but you hear a lot of stories where people contemplate it, but they don't do it. And for them to do it, it took a lot out of him. And I'm pretty sure this in the mind his own, and me relating to him a little bit. I had a period at college where I was at all time high. I wasn't him, but I was known in at my college with accolades and academics and everything. And I had an incident occurred, and I had to go through court and stuff like that. And mentally, it was draining for me being a 20, what I think 23, 22 year old male, and he's 24, and he was, like I said, he was the guy at LSU, and for him to go through that, I could relate to him a little bit of like how hard it is, how hard it was on him mentally. Extremely hard, extremely difficult. I'm pretty sure he felt like he let people down. I'm pretty sure he was like, man, I'm about to lose it all over one incident. And I can only imagine what he was going through in his mind. And then he had, like I said, this incident with his family member just go on, and now he like, damn, it's piling on one another, and it's a trickle down effect, and it's just an avalanche that's all coming on me at one time. And he got the police behind his back. All of these things are going through his mind at this time period. And him being a 24-year-old male, he's like, I lost it all. And I'm pretty sure he was already having these thoughts, and he just, you know, went on with that decision. That's all I'm gonna say. So, also, I've heard that like on other platforms and stuff, and there's looking at some things. They said he was extremely volatile with his thoughts. Like he could be have high mood swings, and sometimes be very good, and then sometimes everything can go left. This is me. Is dealing with mental health and dealing with people and talking to people with mental health issues. I I feel like, just like I've said this before, in African American communities, we have a lot of un untapped trauma that we don't address. And I'm pretty sure, like, if he's having these extreme highs and these extreme lows when he was having at his age, I'm not saying he wasn't seeing someone, but I'm saying like how the African American community still views mental health. I'm pretty sure, like, I'm not certain, but I'm sure like it wasn't discussed about his mental. So I just don't want to say this guy's having high highs and high lows and he was a bad person. No, maybe he didn't know why he was having these high lows. He didn't know how to address those high and high lows. And like I said, he was a 24-year-old male, and with NIL, he's probably like, I got money, and it's just like, and his family members like, he got money. Like, we don't need to address this. But in reality, it should have been addressed. I'm not saying it wasn't. This is my opinion. So, and I hope, like I said, hope nobody will get offended with what I just said. But I'm just saying, it seems like maybe his mental wasn't addressed, or it wasn't addressed accordingly. And so I just feel like we need to understand that this guy had some issues that we probably didn't know about. And I hope that all athletes to take the time to address your mental, and particularly, like I said, African Americans, because like I heard what's his James Jones on Undisputed, which is, I think it's Undisputed, or I forgot the TV show, but like you said, man, like, you play football, or if you have a bad day, people still ask you for things. You having a good day, all right, it's cool. But when you having the bad days, even as a professional athlete, people still ask you, if you even if your leg broken, hey, can I get some money? And with the NIL deal, with NIL, some of the college athletes making $1 million. I'm pretty sure people asking for money, and he's better to go to the NFL. Or he was have NFL dreams. I'm pretty sure people was asking for money. So I'm pretty sure that affected his mental as well. And so like, let's round things up. This video is pretty long, but it's need to be addressed. But like also on the same TV show, like LaShawn McCoy said, like, man, I didn't know how to address my mental till he went to, pretty much when he said like he didn't know how to address his mental till he talked to a therapist and just be able to get stuff off his chest. So I'm just telling anyone like who's having mental health issues, man, go get help, talk to someone. I always encourage that, just because like you can't always talk to your family members about everything, because sometimes that biasness kick in. Sometimes you need a third party that doesn't know your situation. And that's pretty much what LaShawn McCoy said. I'm saying that too as well. Again, man, RP to Kyren Lacy, man. RP also to the fellow who lost his life in December as well. We need to address these issues, even as athletes, and I think we need a better platform for us to talk about. We need a consistent platform. We need to talk about mental health on a week to week basis, at least, because we need to address these issues, y'all. And so, with all that being said, this is Kim Insights on another segment of My Mondays.